Okay, hello YouTube. It's been a while. This is Tyler from Lockdown Tech Review, and this is my first video in over a week. So today I'm going to talk to you about this. This is my Sony a6400, and I know this is not something that I got during lockdown. I actually got this almost exactly a year ago, but by now it's been out for a year and a half already, and a lot of people should have reviewed it and talked about it, but I just wanted to share with you my thoughts about my experience using this and see whether this is right for you. If you're in the market now for a good mid-sized mirrorless camera that isn't the full frame, that doesn't have a full frame sensor, this might be the one for you. So the a6400, I think it was released in March or April 2019. It comes with this flip screen, and it comes if you go for the kit lens, that isn't a very good choice, so don't get the kit lens. I had a kit lens a long time ago with my NEX3N, and that was actually the first Sony APS-C camera that I got. So a little bit of backstory here. My first APS-C camera was the Sony NEX3N. I bought it from, actually I imported it from Japan. It was fairly cheap at the time, so I got the wide version, and it lasted me for about 3 years. It worked pretty well, and I bought this lens for it here. Let me know if you want me to just talk about this lens, but it's quite an old lens. You should have seen it many times already. It's a 50mm f1.8 silver version, and it's a portrait lens, so 50mm. The APS-C size is about 75mm full frame. Well, I don't have a full frame camera to show you, but the aperture is really large. It's 1.8, but the one that I'm using right here is a Sigma. It's also fairly inexpensive. I think it's about 200 USD or 300 Singapore dollars where I'm at. And this is 1.4 aperture, and yeah, it actually works really well for me, so I leave it on my camera almost all the time. And most of my YouTube videos are taken using this camera. So right now I'm using my phone, the front-facing camera on my Galaxy Note 10 Plus from last year. And so I have 3 lenses with this. I have, apart from the Sigma 30mm, I have the Sony 50mm, and I have the Sony f4 10-18mm. So this is a zoom lens. This is the only zoom lens I have because I sold off the 16-50mm, the kit lens, because once I totally broke it, I dropped it, and the zoom wouldn't extend anymore, and it didn't work at all. So I never got that again. I mean, I got that one more time, but then I didn't like it and I sold it off. But this one, I bought it mainly for my travels, when I'm going on vacation. It's very, very good for landscape shots, and even though the aperture is not too great, it's f4, but it's okay in the daytime. So I use it for traveling almost exclusively. But in normal day-to-day life, the Sigma is the one that I use, and it's the one that I use to record most of my videos on. Yeah, so last year in October, I decided to get the Sony a6400, mainly because of its front-facing lens and autofocus system. Now, after the NEX3N, I decided that I wanted something with better autofocus, so I got the a6000, and the a6000 is really good. It captures moving things really fast, and I don't know, tracking animals or cars, moving cars, or any moving objects like fountains works really well for that purpose. But after a while, the a6000 started showing its age. Like, it didn't have that much wireless connectivity, and actually all Sony cameras don't have really that. They have really great hardware, but not too great software. So the menu system is still quite convoluted. They require you to go through, to basically memorize the layout, unfortunately. But there are so many, like, there are 3 main tabs, but okay, let's see here. The first tab has 14 mini tabs. The second one has 9. The third movie has 9 as well. Wait. The third has 2 network. The fourth has 3 playback, and there's 7 setup menu pages. And yeah, my menu setting is the last one. So there's too many menus and it's a mess. And it, yeah, the software is the sort of the weak aspect of this, and the connectivity option. The app doesn't work that great as well because it's not easy to set up. But once you spend the time and effort to give it a shot, then it works. Yeah. But in terms of just raw image quality and raw video taking capability, this camera has worked really well for me. I haven't had much chance to use it this year, unfortunately. As you all know, we stay at home most of the time, but so that's why I use that for my videos now, except for this time when I'm talking about it, so I don't use that. So what do I like about this? Well, the viewfinder is really sharp. It's clear and what do I see here? The focus is a lot faster than the a6000. The screen is the best part. It's one of the best parts. So apart from the focus, when you point and shoot at yourself, it'll give you 3 seconds to get behind the lens. And let me see here. Yep, it will focus really quickly, except if your lens is sort of too close to you. Sometimes the camera may not focus that, how can I say it? Like the camera may focus on the background, and when you just run in front of the camera and you take a photo of yourself, you will be blurry, but everything else will be clear. So just note that down. And well, what I don't like about this flip-up screen is that it blocks the external microphone thingy. So if you want to use an external mic, well, I don't really need to because I'm not actually that avid a photographer. But if you use it, then it blocks it. So the recent Sony cameras, I think the one released this year, the A7C, I guess the full frame version on the APS-C body, has a flip-out screen that flips to the left. So if you're looking at it from here, it flips out, and it's so much better. And there's no awkward, how can I say, angle where the screen is there's a little gap between the screen and the camera itself. So yeah, once I dropped it, and it hit the hinge here, but the hinge is pretty sturdy, so it hardly, there's hardly a scratch. So yeah, so it's very well built and very sturdy. Yeah, and well, one other thing I could think about is that black is a little, actually it's a little boring, the color. So previously, the 2 cameras I had, one was white and the other one was silver and black. So that gave it a little bit of flair, I felt. So I hope Sony can release more color options with these, with their upcoming APS-C cameras. Eventually when they put a new sensor inside, because they've been using the same sensors for, well, a couple of years now. So yeah, and well, in terms of the lenses, the lens selection, I bought 3 lenses and they have sort of hit the sweet spot for me, so I don't really feel the need to buy any more. And yeah, with smartphones, being pretty good these days, except for the front-facing selfie camera, like the one I'm using right now. Yeah, I only usually carry this camera outside when I'm traveling or when there's a special occasion like a wedding or a party, a big company function, for example. Then I use this. Yeah, but apart from that, I don't normally carry this out during the weekend when I'm going out alone or with maybe a small bunch of people. So yep, that is what I have to say about this. Oh, ports. One more thing here. Here we have an assortment of ports. It's micro USB, unfortunately, so it's not USB-C. Yeah, in 2020, I think they upgraded their latest cameras with USB. It has a headphone jack that I have never used, but you can use it for your mic, external mic, I think. And it has a flash. Yeah, and it has a lot of functions. So I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. You would rotate the dial, and you would find out a lot about all these different functions. But for most people, they would, most common people like me, they would just put it to auto when taking photos and movie, and the movie tab when you're taking videos. So it's literally a point and shoot camera, except that the lenses are interchangeable. That's all. But of course, if you like playing with settings, there are a ton of settings that you can mess with. But if you're just a casual user and you just wanted to take great photos and videos outside of the box, this works great for its purpose. I think recently, a year and a half ago, Sony released their premium 16 to 55 millimeter, the premium zoom, which is way better than the kit lens. So technically, that f2.8 16 to 55 could replace all three of my lenses, and probably cost less than all of them combined together. Even though that one premium lens is very expensive. So yeah, So it makes sense if you just get this camera with that one lens, and you'd be set. You probably would never have to take it off. Anyways, so yeah, here are my thoughts on the Sony a6400. Let me know what you think in the comments.